They definitely did show improvement. They have good scalability.
But
let's see what
B-Cop and
Lacoste has to
Lacoste
say.
also have to weigh in. B-Cop and Lacoste, what do you got to say for yourselves?
Can you weigh in, please?
Well, you know, put some weight on Boom once again. I like the way they play. Lilgun, I think they have a better chance in this game because it's mid-tiny, so it's at least not a, you know, hero that uses two abilities throughout the whole game. And yeah, Arc Warden seems decent, but against Io, Queen of Pain could be a bit tricky, but should be a bit more interesting game. I don't think like the game's just gonna fall apart after 15 minutes.
All right,
Yeah.
we'll see how it all pans out in game number 2 with B-Cop and Lacoste.
Thank you very much. Coming into game number 2, you know what's crazy? You had my exact thoughts word for word. It was exactly what I was going to say.
I kind of doubt it.
I'm going...
Next time I'll write it down, and then, you know, we can compare what you wanted to say.
Okay. Well, I guess my creative writing's got to get better at some point. Try to, you know, make it sound decent. If we get a pause, I'll write a little bit. I'll get a little explanation on my pick, but I'm gonna still predict Boom.
Yeah, just Boom just looked more solid. This time around, they have, what, 1, 2, 3, 4 strength heroes against Undying, so Undying should have a decent time in the laning stage. No one wants to, you know, play double strength lane against Undying, so they will have this mid-tiny. He gets more levels, actually scales as a hero, is not just Avatos.
The battle begins.
Toto.
It just comes down to seeing if, you know, Lilgun are going to be comfortable after that 15-minute mark. I'm wondering if their game, like the way they're going to play, is similar to last game, because their lanes were fine. And I'd like to see them find more success out of the laning stage. 15-20 minutes, they don't fall behind again. Marvel taking a lot of damage. And he's actually just going to TP over to the tier 1 of the off lane, but Hishki and Kesku go back and forth. A little bit of damage here and there, nothing more. Again, Dreamcell back on this IO.
They have 4 of the same 5 heroes from the last game, just instead of Queen of Pain. They had Batrider. Queen of Pain provides a bit more damage, a bit more team fight, earlier rotations possibly, especially the TP rotations. Yeah, because they're playing into Undying Arc Warden, which is kind of a tough lane with 2 strength heroes. Hyde starts with Boots of Speed, wanted to drag the second creep wave, but Ace 12, nicely done, just pulls the lane back. And, you know, it's still good, but he will be able to get the DKs off, try to zone them out. Like it's very hard for these 2 heroes to play into Undying. He has 3 mangoes to work with, almost level 2.
And he is just 24 stolen strength right now. Feels great as an Undying. FPZ only has 380 max health. Now it's back to 520, but it was 380. And he's just standing forward. We've seen this a lot from Undyings. Just put the pressure on, stay forward, make them feel uncomfortable in lane. We'll see if Ace 12 can really follow this up, follow these constant decays, because eventually the mana is just not going to be there for you. Yeah, you've got 2 mangoes. You should be able to sustain a little bit if you can get yourself your hands on some clarities or maybe get a kill, bump up that gold a little bit. But, you know, things get a little bit more difficult where he runs out of mana. Sometimes we'll see Undying sacrifice themselves to the tower or the tier 2, something like that. Maybe afterwards they TP over mid. See how Ace 12 approaches this.
Hyde, he blocked the small camp. Let's see if that gets devoted. Ace 12, he knows, because Phoenix was trying to fake it on the top lane, like, still, like, body block, go into the... Oh? 4 people disconnected.
All at
Make
the
it
same
5.
time. Okay.
So yeah, he was trying to fake it on top as Phoenix to be inside the small camp. But this ward is going to get spotted because they need to pull the lane back. Like, Arc Warden is not going to feel comfortable playing this deep in. There is always a kill potential when enemy safe laner, like position 5, when he goes to try to pull. the small camp, especially if it's a stacked one, you have this like window of opportunity to just go and play aggressive on him. Unfortunately, Hyde is still level 1, so it doesn't have a combination dive plus fiery spirits.
Yeah, we saw Hyde, especially last game, play pretty aggressive early on as the Phoenix. He moved around quite a bit, used that Icarus dive, got them a couple kills with the help of the spirits, so I'm interested to see how Hyde goes about this. So just unfortunately level 1, but yeah, Ace 12 is going to get this. D-Ward, like you said. Over mid, Makoto Sanctity. The matchup, at least for right now, is certainly favoring Makoto.
Who would have
in terms of
guessed?
CS.
Queen of Pain against Tiny. I think if you ask anyone, you know, they would say it's a good matchup for Queen of Pain. And now with the introduction of the runes, it allows you to play even more aggressive, like have that extra mana sustain. Still keeping up the point, just in case, you know, maybe he doesn't need the blink to close the gap. Could potentially have another point in Scream of Pain for some extra damage. Like, it's very hard to get this bottle regeneration going, since you're playing against this damage over time coming up from the Shadow Strike. Let's see.
Hyde.
Oh, he's
Go for a
going in.
second.
He wants to deal some damage. You know, he wants him to pop that Water Rune. Water Rune plus Fairy Fire, it's a lot of heal. You know, instant heal, maybe Water Rune shouldn't be like instant heal. Once you pop
You
it
think
from
it
the
should
bottle.
be more heal over time?
Yeah, I think so. It would be a bit more balanced, because like you dive a hero with Water Rune bottled, and then he pops a Fairy Fire, suddenly like snap, you get the double kill.
Right. And we'll see if that ends up being changed a little bit. Sanctity, though, still, you know, he's throwing out avalanches, but he's playing pretty aggressive considering he's only got himself about 300 health. And before that, a little sip right there. God, playing on the edge, in my opinion.
It seems like they're having some internet issues. Another disconnect from Undying. What they can do right now is potentially, like, Phoenix could rotate it to the top for a minute Water Rune, secure it, steal it from Tiny, while Queen of Pain goes to the bottom lane, and then you kind of steal it from Tiny, so you can keep playing more aggressive. No one's about to die. Like, Undying could potentially suicide, refill the bottle for Tiny, but that's it. Then you're forcing a rotation on the mid lane, which leaves Arc Warden vulnerable on top.
Yeah, certainly don't want to leave your Arc Warden vulnerable in the top lane when you've got, you know, Icarus Dive could come out. A well-placed spear makes sure that if you catch it on X1, 2, 3, he's dead. So Undying, you've got to figure out where you can be here, because if Arc Warden's game doesn't jump off the bat, I don't know if it's going to be that easy for him.
He can still, you know, be in the jungle. You just need someone to play Dota. Snapfire is kind of not that hero. Neither is Undying. You also have this slow, sluggish Necro. Someone else needs to rotate. This hero's not good at rotating. So it's going to be a lot on Tiny's shoulders to just keep them in the game.
Ace, he's getting chased. These spirits are hitting. He's burning out and will die. Hyde getting an easy first blood.
Yeah, you can spell chase without Ace. You can, but, you know, the way you say it, you're like, wait a second.
It took me a second. All right. C-H-A-C, sure. Yeah, you got it. Sanctity. All right. You know, I'm just comparing the Tinies in my head here from what we saw in the last game and what we're seeing now. Like, it still doesn't feel like Tiny... Obviously, the matchup's not good for him, but it just doesn't feel like he's impacting at all.
He needs to rotate. Like, he needs to pick up a 6-minute rune, possibly gank the side lane, ideally haste on top. Lord Gaben, if you're listening, if you want to help out Lilgun, spawn it on the top, Tiny picks it up, he ganks the top lane, because it's going to be tough. You know, you can already see 33-11 against 16-4. This is the second healing salve that he needs to bring just to stay full HP.
Ooh. Let's see where the rune is. It is top. It's an Invis rune.
Okay, at least it's something, but still very low on HP. He's checking if they have any sentries. We'll still rotate it to the top, which I really like. But the lane is pushing in, so he's not going to have that much space to work with.
Sanctity wants to make a move here. This is potentially dangerous if it's not played perfectly. Avalanche toss with the Soul Rip, and it was. So there's the quick kill onto Hyde. Gives Sanctity something back, which it didn't need to be a haste, I guess.
Sure, the Invis is also fine. Like I thought it said, ideally B cup.
No, I wasn't saying that at you. I was surprised, the Invis ended up working out because Boom, I thought, had that information. So I expected maybe Hyde to be a little bit more in a safer position than that.
Maybe they were hiding the information from him.
It's true. I'm always trying to get one back. I can't think of one off the top of my head.
It doesn't have to be the one straight away. Necro is level 6, spear top.
That lands on X, 1, 2, 3.
Fake hype, nothing happens. But
Not yet.
Necro on bottom, playing aggressive. Like, if they rotate one hero to the bottom, it's potentially a kill. But you need to be careful with the Reaper side this time around. A lot of heals coming out from, like, potentially Ios, Magic Wand, Abba, Mistcoil plus a Photic Shield, and then, like, you don't get the kill.
Arena
Top,
and a
there
spear
it is,
again.
Arena.
Icarus dive over, and with the ult from Makoto, they'll get the kill. They'll look over at Ace 12.
Radiant's middle tower is under
Can he
attack.
survive?
Dire's
Doesn't look likely as the Sunray's right on top. The Undying, they've got the Scream. They'll burn him out. They'll get the kill. Makoto with 2. That's a good rotation. And really well done by Makoto. Because this opens up the lane for the Mars, makes things difficult for the Arc Warden moving forward. Because it looks like they're going to lose this Tier 1 top too.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
And they lose a Tier 1 tower top without, heroes who have any kind of damage. They're not even playing with the catapult. It's a rough one. Now Arc Warden needs to be in the jungle, farm the Midas. He's thinking about going back to lane. They even popped the glyph. Oh, no. No.
Ooh. All right, there he
Dire's
goes.
top tower has fallen.
Like, he can't show. Like, this is a bit problematic for Arc Warden. If someone sticks around, they have one observer ward that scouted the Queen of Pain getting out of the area, but still needs to be in jungle.
Because Q getting blown up by Sanctity. Now he's moving around and he's starting to find his way back, but man, he's still down 1,200 compared to Makoto. Oh, digging up a bounty rune. Perfect. Not a bad feeling at all just to get the bounty rune. First dig.
Oh, first dig bounties, like, hell yeah.
I think that also is a little bit of a bait because then you end up holding onto the shovel too long, thinking that you're just going to get bounties more and more.
Well, someone needs to keep the shovel all the time. Like, this item is just too valuable.
Ooh, Avalanche, now the toss coming through. Dream of Cell hit with the Reaper Scythe. And that will shut him down, but they've got the arena down on 2. This is under the tower. They're looking for maybe more damage and another rotation, but nobody else coming over. And these 3 heroes just don't have enough. You've got no ult available for Makoto. He doesn't really have a lot of mana to work with, so he doesn't make the rotation. And the arena was nice, but there was nothing more.
Oh, he gets another one.
That's cute. This Tiny's starting to really go off, and I think Boomer kind of giving him a little bit more than he should be able to grab. They drop down the Tombstone. They've got the Spear. They'll lock down the Tiny. They've got the Sonic Wave. Sanctity, he still survives, though. Fire Snap Cookie lands on a 2, and they should get that kill on Makoto and will. Icarus dive over, Sanctity burning out, finally goes down, but it takes so much from Boom just to get that kill. And Hyde, eventually he'll be ripped in half by the Soul Rip of Ace 12.
Good rotate. Like, they already used Mars Arena, so there's, like, no real damage coming out from that. Tiny, some good rotations. Like, you can feel the difference from position 4 Tiny and from kind of a core Tiny. It's still not maxed out, It's Avalanche level 4, Toss was level 1 in the previous fight. But you're gonna feel the difference. Like, he can't burst the Queen of Pain. She's not a tanky hero. Even though you have a raindrop, you're still very burstable.
Right. If the Orchid timing is decent, could see Makoto really wreak some havoc, but the more it gets slowed down, I think Lilgun starts to see them succeed more and more. He's just trying to get a stack if he can. Should be easy. There it is. Necro, quietly, it feels like, is top of the net worth for the Dire. Arena down, Spear lands onto the Arc Warden. They've got the Supernova. Sword trying to keep X123 alive, but they'll get the kill onto the Arc Warden. They look over at Ace 12. He's cut down to Ace 6, and now they're right on top of this Snapfire. Fire Snap Cookie, that lands onto Makoto. Marvel, though, that just puts him in a bad position. They've got the Mortimer's Kisses coming in, but Ishki, he stands still and just eats the damage from Hyde. Reaper Scythe is in.
Oh,
it doesn't do
no.
anything. It actually just heals up the Abaddon. Marvel falling. Sanctity looking like he might be next on the list. They've got a Spear available. They'll land it. God Tribute to follow it up. Full heroes here and another kill from Makoto, making it a double. And I believe a full team wipe.
Yeah, it's one of those Reaper sites, like one of those spell usages where like I better try to use it before I go down, and then you end up. I mean, Necro, he is. Well, if you read the description of the hero, it says healer, so he healed the Abaddon there. Wow, good spear actually connects on the hero instead of the clone. They burst him down so quickly.
The
Also,
Supernova's
looking at
perfect.
the Snapfire's build, like she put extra points in Lil Shredder. It's like 1-1-3 build.
That's normally,
Not normal.
yeah, I feel like you'd see that not
Nah,
5%
you don't
of the
see
time.
that. I don't know what the thinking behind. Because it doesn't scale in terms of like attacks. Yeah, you're playing against Phoenix, level 1. Lil Shredder will kill the egg. You can solo kill the egg, but it doesn't scale. It's just 6 fixed damage stacks.
Don't need it to be higher than level 1.
Exactly.
Definitely something I'd like the answer to. And they didn't even get the egg. You know, he tries to position himself in the right way, but that Supernova still goes off.
I'm just looking at Hyde. He has this trusty shovel, not using it. Excessive foul, please
bottom.
use it.
Marvel in some trouble. There's the spear. It'll land. Makoto now dominating. Things started slow for him, but he's really started to pop off in terms of just the last few minutes or so.
Oh man, shovel still available. This is not efficiency.
Oh,
Come
Tiny
on.
again, now getting caught trying to TP, but the Centaur that's dominated from Dreamacell will stun him up, stop that TP. Sanctity now dead. Boom, they're all over the map now, making this really tough for Lilgun.
At least Tiny has a Blink Dagger, so he can be the one making the moves he needs to play with. That's my problem. Like, who does he play Dota with? Undying, not the hero that can rotate that easily. Arc Warden just wants to farm the jungle. Like, he needs to be in the triangle. Necro very slow, just brown boots, 325 movement speed. It's like you need a Windlace, or you need to upgrade the boots on this hero. Otherwise, you don't feel like you're moving at all.
Still got to use that
Well,
shovel.
now I get it why he's maxing the Lil Shredder, because the team name is Lilgun. So
Okay.
all the little things.
They have to get maxed.
Sneak attack?
Sir, there's no other skill that has Lil in it, right? No,
I can't think of anything.
just a Lil Shredder. A Lil Gun. It's the collab we never knew we needed. Oh, Hyde using that shovel finally. Mic problems coming in for Boom. Seems like they're communicating well, though. Phoenix going into the Spirit Vessel. You've got Mars FBZ looking for BKB. You've got the Orchid now available for the Queen to Paint. Like, these BKBs are going to start coming out, and I think things for Little Gun just get really dangerous. Certainly super difficult for them to bring it back down this much already, and you're going to hit that power spike with multiple BKBs and the Ags coming out from the IO of Dreamacell.
Yeah, it's slowed down their B-Cup. Like, BKBs are not going to come in the next few minutes. Queen of Pain just finished Orchid. IO still needs some time to farm up that Aghanim Scepter. Like, Phoenix will have Spirit Vessel. That's a big item. That's a huge item against Necro, the healing, the overtime damage.
Aggressive
Queen of Pain,
blink
he
from
blinks in
Makoto.
aggressively.
And it's really far forward. Fire Snap Cookie. Mortimer's kisses Makoto. Just kind of giving up his life, and that's an aggressive blink with no vision to back that up.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
Super unnecessary to go in that far.
Okay. Especially with using a blink. Blink got buffed, especially at the early levels, but still, you know, a bit of unnecessary move there.
Yeah, for sure. So, 1,150 gold needed for this Ags for Dreamcell. You've got the Maelstrom picked up by the Arc Warden, who's starting to rise up the ranks in terms of net worth after what was a pretty subpar laning phase. But he's got the Midas, he's recovering, has that Maelstrom going into the Boots Travel, really trying to open up where he's able to farm and maybe get towards the top of the net worth. Makoto back to that spot. I don't know if he wants to blink in here again, but being nearby, it's certainly a risk if he were to do so. Blink
Queen of
dagger.
Pain, once again, farming aggressively, at least this time around. She has haste in the bottle, so could potentially get out of the trouble.
Yeah, so it's not like an end-all be-all if he does get caught in a bad position this time, if he can haste out and leave, or haste in and blink away. He's got options available towards him.
Like, even though this is not a position for Tiny, he didn't start as a position 4. In terms of net worth, he feels like kind of a position 4/3.
Yeah, I guess the difference would be right now is the experience.
Yeah, that's pretty much the only thing.
But I'm not sure that's enough, and they do get the scan. But nobody committing over. They've got all 5 heroes here towards bottom for Lilgun. Meanwhile, towards top, I mean, Boomer looking to take a tier 2. Cut the creep wave, put some damage on. They've got these creeps in. They're ready to go and take a tier 2 tower. Can they take it quickly enough where they can rotate back? Bottom becomes the question, because Lilgun, they've set up the same way. They've got 5 heroes here ready to go and take a tower pretty quickly. First TP's in from Makoto, blinking back. Now they've got more and more coming in. So they take the tower, they'll look for the relocate. They put the tombstone on the high ground, so Lilgun, they're ready for this. The question is, do they make a move in or not? And they'll just take the tower. No team ready to or willing to initiate.
Yeah, it's just going to be a trade tier 2 for tier 2. Potentially, next thing, they can go inside the pit. Io has Aghanim Scepter done. Phoenix still level 10, would love to, you know, get that ulti to level 2 so the Lil Shard just doesn't kill him instantly.
So let's see how this goes as the game's really quieted. Who does this benefit, the quieting down of this game?
In terms of scaling, like, yeah, it's very annoying to play against Arc Warden, sieging the high ground, especially if you don't have that much tower damage, which they don't. I want to see if FBZ once again goes for that Deso, so that's going to help out. Yeah, he has that one queued up. Ace 12, getting cookied, but they're just too speedy.
Yeah, get the kill onto Ace 12. Man, Io just can really hurt given the opportunity.
Like, Necro is annoying to play against once he gets a couple of dispel mechanics on him, like Guardian Greaves, Lotus Orb. He's super tanky. The damage from the Heartstopper aura is insane in the late game. But still, I feel like, considering the amount of the farm, the advantage that they have right now, a Boom lineup is just going to be super scary. You have this percentage-based damage.
Arena down.
Arena, nice toss.
Good toss to get Hishki out of there. Is that all they're going to go for? I mean, they relocated. They're going to be relocating out.
Yeah, that was pretty pog.
The relocate will send him down towards bottom. It feels like Boom want to make a move still. Tombstone. That comes out. Both teams get an Observer Ward. Mortimer's Kisses. That just gets expended and they get nothing out of it.
It's problematic because their only stun is pretty much Tiny. You can't rely on Cookie to just be a reliable stun the way to initiate. Also, if you're standing further behind, that means that you can't land the good Mortimers. And if you're standing further behind, you can't use the Snap Cookie.
Arc Warden getting chased for a split second. Wondering if FBZ is going to commit to this Blink Dagger. He has enough gold, but he also has Deso queued up. And there it is. Okay. Now he's got the Blink Dagger. All right, that works out. Now they've got another way to initiate. Don't have to rely on Queen of Pain going into the front line.
Going inside the pit. Seems like it's not going to be contested. Dire using scan. There are also smoked, but thinking about going for a kill instead of contesting the Roche, so this is going to be a freebie.
A free Aegis here for Boom. Nobody coming over from the side of Lilgun. And then an illusion shows up, but it's just that, an illusion, because there is no game plan here for Lilgun to come over and stop this. Aegis picked up by Makoto. They get Roche, they get an Aegis. They're still up 7K. The thing that's going right for Lilgun right now is that they have opened up enough space for Arc Warden to be top of the net worth. So I still think he needs a bit more, but
he
they've certainly
always
opened up the map.
needs more. This
never
is
a
the
point.
feeling about whenever you play a hero, you never feel too confident playing. He's going into BKB next item to be able to just go in and make himself more comfortable, you know, against all this magical damage that they have. Getting outside of the arena on top of that. It's an early BKB. Like, this is, like, usually you want to...
Arc Warden getting chased. They have the TPs coming in. The Mars wants to get there. There's the arena with the spear. It will catch the Arc Warden. Hishki looking next. He is gone, and the Reaper Scythe just not going to do enough. Really doesn't do anything. They're going to go after Marvel. They should have this kill. Should be a potential team wipe. Sanctity's trying to run, but this team, they're right on your tail.
Oh man, FBZ. FBZ is exactly where he needs to be. Like, even if you think you know the perfect positioning, you don't, because FBZ does. Like, this has just been an amazing series so far for FBZ on his Mars. 3-0 and 10 in the second game. Like, in the first game, he had a good start, died a couple of times, but still managed to recover and just take over the game. Now they're going for the high ground, no Arc Warden for 5 seconds.
These kisses feel like they're just
zoning
being thrown
kisses.
out. Yeah.
A lot of zoning tools. Like, there was also Reaper Sight used on Phoenix. They tried to burst him with the Tiny, didn't manage to do so. Aegis plus Arcane in the bottle for Quap.
Tempest double, that was
A quick one.
effective. It's just, I don't know how you can justify giving FBZ.
His courier died.
Mars.
It was a full BKB for Queen of Pain. That's big. 2.5 minutes without it. But still, at least he has Aegis.
Yeah.
They know there's no Reaper Sight, there's no kisses.
There's not really much in terms of what Lilgun can throw. Maybe they don't feel comfortable going without BKB. 10K comfortable lead here for Boom. They don't really need to be forced into doing anything more at the moment. You don't really want to give Arc Warden more time, but I think they're comfortable at the moment, considering they killed Arc Warden really quickly. Like, they have confidence to just go and fall back, take some time, and look towards the next fight, get this next item for whoever needs it.
Arc Warden still very burstable. BKB done. But the damage is still pretty limited. Like, you still need to be able to farm that Mjolnir. Mjolnir received the buffs 2 patches in a row, so that item feels good, but still, you know, you need to get it. And like, just going for the high ground against the Arc Warden is probably the most annoying thing in Dota. Maybe you can add a Treant up there, possibly the Underlord, maybe a Fisher, but yeah, you also have this like relocating ability, like toss. You need to be aware of that. Being tossed into the tier 3s, possibly tier 4s. So I can understand why Boom does not want to go and just try to like end the game, considering how far ahead they are. They're respecting the toss, they're respecting the Arc Warden.
Yeah, I think that's very fair to do. Sometimes we just see teams give too much respect, but I don't think that's the case here for Boom. It should be fine coming into the next fight. They don't have a lot of time left on the Aegis. But we'll see how they use this for Makoto, if they do it all. Because 18 seconds can deliver that BKB over. Deso finished off for Mars. A lot of gold saved up for Queen of Pain as well. 2K more. So So they're going to smoke up here on Boom, just extending that lead. I mean, strictly farming, they've gone from 10K to 13K, so they're really bringing it up. Makoto, he's looking for Sanctity, and actually blinks back towards this Necro. They'll go instead towards Marvel, get a quick kill. Ace 12 cut down again, and they're going to get gold from this Tombstone. And things look like they're going really well for Boom to finish this one off. Sanctity, there's not really much place for him to run. He does get whipped. They're going to try and speed him up. Makoto looks over now at this Snapfire, but they land the arena. I mean, he tries to get out. They'll still catch Sanctity. They look over the Tempest double. And there's nothing that they can do on the side of Lilgun. They're trying to get these heroes out, but they're just trying to get these heroes out. It doesn't feel like they have much more than that. That being said, Hyde ends up dead, and there's the ult coming through from Makoto. They'll get Hishki, and that Tempest double will run out. Boom only losing that Phoenix.
And they're cleaning them up, but still dealing no tower damage. Like Lilgun, you can feel they are afraid. They try to get outside the base. I can understand, you know, the situation they're in right now, where you do not want to get out-farmed. If you're just holding the high ground, eventually you're going to get out-farmed. The second Roche belongs to Boom. But this might be your, like, best chance. If you leave the base, you just can't contest the team fight and the advantage that Boom has right now.
Yeah, it's hard to contest what Boom have at the moment. You can see just the massive split between Arc Warden and the rest of his team. I mean, if there's 4 Radiant heroes that fill that gap. Like, even Tiny in the 2 spot, like you said, he felt more like a 3, 4 kind of hero in this game at the moment, and that's exactly what it's come down to. Sanctity just not doing as much, and they'll look over at Kescute, they'll pop the borrowed time, they'll get the Fire Staff Cookie to land on Kescute, but it's just not enough. The arena down around Sanctity, they'll get the Spear to land. Sunray right on top of this Tiny, they get the kill there. Icarus dive over, and with the Supernova, they're going to start to burn them out. There was some damage done to the egg, but just not enough damage. Ace drops, Hishki gone. 3 heroes down to the side of Lilgun. They're going to burn out all the rest of this team on the side of Lilgun too, taking out the entire team. A full team wipe for Boom, and not much to be said for Lilgun in a fight that they started.
It's like pretty much the same game as the previous one. They go for Abba one more time. They try to burst him. He pops the ulti mid-air. They still bring him down, but at what cost? Once again, they lose all 5 members. They also just pop the glyph. This time around, Brimocell going for full, Kaya and Sanj, and now getting into Heart. Like, this hero is just becoming way too tanky. They do not have enough burst damage to bring him down. Like, Necrophos wants to have someone who can burst him. Tiny, you know, is that guy that usually works against the lower HP heroes, but against Io, I don't think it's doable.
Arena and Makoto taking a lot of damage, but they just wipe up Ace. They will take out Sanctity. They'll look over at Hishki. There's not anything that they can do. They lose this Snapfire. They try to fight. They try to defend. They just don't have the damage. They just don't have the tools necessary to hold on to this game at the moment.
If they didn't have Arc Warden, I would not be surprised if they just called a GG here, but since you have an Arc Warden, you always have like that one extra possible fight.
Yeah, certainly a possibility. The question is, can they make that possibility a reality? And you see the decays coming in. That was effective in the early parts of the game, but not anymore. And they're going to just dive in deep. They've got Makoto with the BKB looking over at Marvel, chasing down this Necro. They're right on top of the Arc Warden. They'll get the kill on a both. They'll buy back on the Necro, but really, he's buying back just to exist because that's all he's doing right now. He bought back. He's burning out inside the well. I mean, he's just surviving. Supernova comes out. The arena is there on all 3 heroes, and they will start to clean them up. Oh boy,
and
GG.
There it is. GG is called. Yeah, nothing they can do in this game. Boom is... Like, they gave them pretty much the same heroes. 4 out of 5 exact same heroes. They tried for a different approach. Didn't work out this time around as well. Lilgun, I think they're focusing too much on the laning stage, where like you need to see the big picture, how you're gonna be able to make the ganks going post the laning stage. Like this lineup is just not good at